Collaborations LLC.
Shout out to the Worldwide Collaborations LLC.
World movement, beyond thousands of movements.
The world movement, beyond thousands of movements.
All about representing each other together. So check this out.
What's up? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of the Worldwide Collaboration?
You guys should all be a part of Worldwide Collaboration.
Worldwide Collaborations LLC. Check us out, man, and check what's going on, man. Word up. I have recently been choosing to be a spokesman and an ambassador, so you will see a lot more of me. Join the movement, man. It's beyond thousands of movements right now and talents put together, all about representing each other together.
I want to join, so I might see you there. All right, much success.
This is a worldwide collaboration song.
Peace and blessings to them. So we're back with another Start the Exquisite Conversations podcast. The absence of the publicist, owner, Nicole Jordan, working on a few projects, so I'll be taking over tonight. So, man, and to all the publicists out there, happy National Publicist Day. We appreciate you for doing what you do. You know, you definitely, without guys, you know, there will be no next level. So we definitely appreciate you for that. So I'm going to go ahead and let these young kings introduce themselves, and we'll get into their stories.
Word up. My name is DJ Kawon, representing Queens, New York. About living in Dallas, Texas right now, man, and I'm excited to be here, brother. Appreciate you having us.
Salute.
So my name is Len-Dor. I'm here in Canada right now. Much appreciated. Thanks for having me on board. T-Dot all day.
You go.
Yep, and I'm Rock King. I'm out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, representing hip hop to the fullest, man.
Peace. Okay. So now that we got that out the way, I would like each of you to talk about. I'm gonna ask this question and give each of you a chance to answer. So, who is Len-Dor?
All right, so Len-Dor, originally from Trinidad and Tobago, played in the Canadian Football League here in the CFL. I'm an MC, been rapping since I was like about 18, 19. Got a whole lot of music and work, also a video guy as well. I'm a conscious, spiritual, in your throat rapper. That's what I am.
Okay. And so, who is DJ Kawon?
Man, DJ Kawon is just a hip hop head, man, from the womb to the tomb. Always looking to contribute to the culture in a positive way. Got started off with just regular DJing, then got into the radio side of things, and kind of used my platform, my mixtape show, my radio platform to connect with brothers like Rakim and Len-Dor to keep building what we're doing, and you know that's why we're here with the Requiem and everything else, man.
Okay, last but not least, who is Rakim?
Rakim is a conscious MC, and pretty much my purpose is to push hip hop in the right direction. You know, to speak truth to my experience to the people, so I can be able to educate and inspire them to be better. Okay.
So, how did you guys come together as a collective?
So like I said, I had my mixtape show, and so out of the crew, I met Len-Dor first about a little bit over a year ago. I interviewed him on my show, and then just got more familiar with his music, and instantly became a fan of his catalog and his music and stuff after talking with the brother. And then after that, kind of got into getting back into making beats again. You know, had some life changes here with family passing away, and then my uncle had some old DJ gear and some equipment to make beats and stuff, and he's the one who taught me. So I kind of got back into that. started posting some beats online, and then Len-Dor saw one of them and was just like, hey, bro, what you gonna do with that? And I was like, I'm just getting back into it, nothing serious. So he was like, let me do something with that. So he did this track called Hip Hop, what was it called? Hip Hop Mission, that we put on a compilation project I dropped in January. And after that, me and Len-Dor put out a Beacon in the Dark that I produced back in March. That was a dope EP. A lot of great feedback for that. And in the middle of all of that, that's when I met Ra about a year ago around this time. And we started building a little bit. And then we put together a project we dropped in June called The Healing Tape. And, after those two successful EPs, we decided to kind of come together for this current work right here. So, long story short, we call people Boom Bap alumni on the mixtape show, and these are alumni members of the show, and we just kind of form like Voltron, and we here.
Okay, great. So we're gonna get into this Ghetto Mike Myers. So
Perfect time for Halloween, right?
I will tell you this, man. I haven't, the last Halloween song I listened to, I believe it was, the Lord Makes Mixtape,
Okay.
Part 4.
The Halloween
And
Havoc
so
joint? Yeah.
and so you guys piqued my interest.
Okay.
And what really piqued my interest, the sound was amazing on the song, but the visual.
Len-Dor.
Visual.
Shout out Len-Dor on that.
This is where insanity, horror, scary meets hip hop.
Yes.
So man, tell me, how did this song come together, and what made y'all want to do something for Halloween?
We'll let Len-Dor talk since he was the master behind the visuals. I'll let him talk about that.
Well, man, honestly, it was Raw's idea. It was Raw King's idea. We started thinking about doing a music video, and we wanted to do something with a bit of a short film effect. And when we heard the joint the first time, we were like, how do we illustrate our vision in the concept wise of how we want to put this video out, how people to see the story, what we are trying to promote. So it started off with a bunch of trial and errors. We compared a whole bunch of different ideas and stuff like that, and we just dove into it. Quan got some help. He got some friends to join on his part. The part that Quan did, he actually shot the first part with the female, and there was someone helping us, but there was another guy who stepped in, a guy called K Trey, another rapper who stepped in as an actor as well, and he helped pull everything together. So for me, I just wanted to do something different. I believe that the song was animated enough where we could illustrate exactly what we placed into bars, and the rest is history, man. We did what we did.
Right. So with the song, man, as far as the mixtape world, as far as sites like SoundCloud, as far as all the sites that you can do promo for songs, and to really get the message out and the word out. Like, what has the feedback been for you guys?
Go ahead, Rob.
I mean, we got good feedback, man. You know what I'm saying? For us to be like spread all over the place, Milwaukee, Dallas, and Canada, and still was able to put this together, and people appreciate it. That means a lot. So we definitely got good feedback on it, man. A storytelling joint, man. You feel me? Storytelling, narration. Len-Dor playing the character of Michael Myers. So I feel like it was a good single to bring, with this season coming in, the Halloween season approaching. So I feel like it was good for us to do that particular joint for this time.
Yeah, and I would add on to that too. I think when we first dropped it, people really didn't know what they were looking at first, right? Because everybody's used to a certain type of look for a hip hop record and visual. We it wasn't any guns, it wasn't any women, it wasn't any strip clubs. It was a true story. So I think it kind of threw everybody for a loop when they first took it in. But I think as people had listened to the song and followed along with the song and the visuals, they was like, oh, this is a story and I can follow along.
That I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's a few answers that I'm looking for. that you ain't gave me yet.
All right. All right.
This is a classic joint,
Okay.
and we
Okay.
have so many Halloween movies that's out and that's going to be coming out. So
Hmm.
I'm looking for you guys to get some music licensing off this song, man.
Me
So
too.
it could be in feature
Us
films
too.
and TV series and on soundtracks and documentaries and things of that
That's
nature, man. Like cause
yeah.
this joint is dope, bro. For real, for
Yeah,
real.
we getting there, man. We got some resources out there that's doing some footwork trying to chase that down for us, man. You know this industry is nothing happens overnight. So but we
No,
do have
no, it
some
doesn't. But yeah,
pieces. We do have some pieces in place that's helping us out with that because this is definitely one of those joints we feel could be on the movie somewhere, on a soundtrack somewhere to give you that feel. You know what I mean?
right. And then, man, I just really think the joint is like it's gonna be a timely song that you can put on many different soundtracks and things of that nature, man. You
Yeah.
know,
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate it.
and you know, for you guys to be from in different places like that and come together collectively and put out a banger like that, man, that just says something about the mindset and the intellectual process on the art form of music. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't really understand, man. Anybody can do music, but can you have intellect while you're doing it? You know what
Mm,
I mean?
mm.
And so I can really appreciate that intellect, man. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all.
Hey, shout out to Rod. He,
So
he he set it off. Rod, it was Rod's idea, and we ran with it, man. He laid down the first
that, that's
verse, and then we followed behind it after that.
that's dope. That's dope. Big ups to you, Rock. Big ups to you, man.
Appreciate it.
So man, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more important messages.
There we go.
All right, shout out to Born Hungry Apparel out there in Chicago. Owners are Samson Jordan and Reginald Jordan. They're two brothers doing their things, and they're always looking for people in different areas to really do the urban fashion shows with for the Born Hungry Apparel. So man, shout out to them,
Shout out.
no doubt. So I'm going to ask you individually a question. So first, I'm gonna start with the DJ because we all know what Reverend Ron and Curtis Blow said. The DJ is the producer. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So for you as a DJ, man,
Hmm.
and we just celebrated 51 years of hip hop, man. What does being a DJ mean to you, and how have you seen the art of DJing transition to a new level?
Oh wow. Good question. So DJing to me always, and this is what I got, taught down from my uncles who taught me is you always want to be the front end on the new music, right? You want to dictate to everybody what's the freshest new music and things like that. So it's always being kind of ahead of the curve on the new sounds, the new trends, and always having that exclusive, right? You always want to be the one with that exclusive. Um, Now the second part of the question with as far as the transition and what's been going on, I think it's been good and bad. Everybody feels like they could be a DJ now because everything's so digital. Nobody's carrying vinyl anymore. Nobody's carrying crates. You could push a button, pretty much do anything. We have the auto sync feature on a lot of this stuff, so DJs don't learn how to beat match by ear anymore. But the good thing about that is for DJs like myself who still play on turntables and stuff like that. When I bring the turntables out, it's like a novelty, and people appreciate it, right? So it kind of puts me in a different space. So I think if you're dope at if you really want to be a DJ, you want to know the technology, you want to stay ahead of the curve on that, but you don't have to be like everybody else out there when you do it. Find your own little niche and just rock it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find people that's gonna find you and that's gonna rock with you that way. So but I think technology is a beautiful thing. You gotta stay up to date on the greatest technology, but you can't use it as a crutch either. You kinda gotta know some of the basics to enhance the technology.
Okay, great. So, one more question for you, and then I'm gonna get with Len-Dor and Rakim. Um, so when it comes to that now, I noticed, and I just had a conversation about this on yesterday.
Mhm.
I had a conversation about this on yesterday, and uh, my partner was telling me that he's going to reopen up his record store,
Mhm.
and it's going to have the tapes, the CDs, and the vinyl.
Yes, sir.
And so
Yes, sir.
me and him discussed. I was like, man, why do you think vinyl is coming back? Because what people don't know about vinyl, for the last 20 years, the most vinyl was sold during COVID.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so why do you think that vinyl is coming back? So who better to answer that question than, a world famous DJ?
World famous. I don't know about that, but vinyl to me, vinyl's coming back because it's tapping into the nostalgia. It's marketed towards our generation now because we were kind of that last generation of physical music. So I believe it's making a comeback. It's that nostalgia of opening up the record and feeling the music physically and putting it on and dropping the needle on the record. To me, there's no other feeling better than that. I feel like you actually touching the music compared to just pushing a button on your phone when you're streaming it. So I just think it's just like a novelty thing that I don't think is going to go away because it's a way now that artists are using to connect to their fans now. With everything going on with the streaming services, it's a new way for the artists to connect with their fans. They can sign something physically for the people. They can drop limited edition versions of vinyl and all of that. And it's just it's just a good feeling to me to be a collector, man. I'm sitting here now in my garage, and I still got CDs. Like you was talking about the mixtapes, and I still got the original G Unit mixtape, right? Stuff
Word,
like that.
word.
And I got the God's Plan, and I still got like Illmatic, and these are like my holy grails. I
Wow.
still got the Cuban Link joint. You know what I'm saying? The CD. So I just
That's
love
dope.
the physical. Yeah, I still love the physical of the touch of it, man. That's just where I come from. So that's how I kind of still market my music. Is I market to those people who still collect music and purchase music and buy music. You know what I mean?
Right. So to the two MCs that's on this platform, Len-Dor and Rakim, um, the art of MCing. Do you think nowadays that the generation of rappers understands what the art of MCing means? And why they don't understand? Have we failed them as a older generation? That we didn't really teach them the essence of the art of MCing, or do they just don't flat out listen?
I would say because of the culture vultures, you know what I'm saying, that's indoctrinated in the game right now. You feel me? Like when we speak on young artists, and I'm not saying specifically all young artists, but most of them have that mentality where they just looking to, you know, put out a hit record. I don't think people care about longevity no more. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for hip hop, if like why be in this thing if you're not in it to, like, you know what I'm saying, be the best that you possibly could be. So that's the type of mentality I carry, and I do feel like it's lost with some people, but I wouldn't sit up here and tell you that everyone, you know, is not representing, you know, hip hop in the right way though.
Okay.
For me, I think it's just a matter of new generation, new trend, and also, as Ross said, the culture vultures, right? I think people don't take the time to look into the history of something. You know, this new generation now, because of social media and the Me Too movement, a lot of them are not putting any thought into music right now. A lot of them are not even putting thought into the art and the skills of hip hop. So I think I think now where people are seeing the collapse of the streaming services and also seeing the collapse of their biggest MCs, they're starting to realize now where it's at, and you have to start right back from the beginning and start over and stick to the basics. So I think just like everything, like in the Bible, a certain generation has to die out, and then it's going to start over again back to the original form.
Okay. 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 And so, um, for you, DJ Kawon, man, when did you know that you could rock shows, that you could rock crowds, that you know your mixes is dope? There's something people need to hear.
Man, it's crazy. I was with my uncle, and I probably was about 16, I think. I was carrying crates for him just to get out the house and watch him DJ. So he had to take a bathroom in a smoke break and holler at the ladies, right? So he was just like, yo, man, I'm about to go take a break. So here's some records I'm gonna line up, just playing one after another. And by the time you get done with these, 4 or 5 records, I should be back. So I played one of them, and then the crowds kind of started. It was there was a this is when I realized too about generations and reading the crowd. He's always been set in his ways with his tunes, but at the time I was more in tune to what was current, and I realized the crowd was kind of like my age. So
Hmm.
I started kind of digging through some of his records and started pulling some of his newer joints and breaking those in. And then I realized there was a bridge record where the older record he wanted me to play, one of the newer artists sampled, and I can't remember who it was. So I kind of played that one. Then I brought in the newer joint, and I was a little off key a little bit because I didn't really know how to beat match at the time. But once it hit, I kind of seen that one person kind of put their head up like this and kind of give me that, like, give me the point. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. So after that, I started just throwing other joints that was similar. And 5, 6 joints in, everybody was up having a good time. And then he came back and he was like, I'm taking the rest of the night off. This is all you, boo. So he let me finish out the set. And then after that, it was a hustler in the building, and he came through and he gave me $100 tip, and he's like, "You did your thing, young blood. Stick to this because you got it." And so that's when I realized, like, oh, okay, this is dope. So after that, put me through his boot camp, taught me how to beat match by ear. He let me do it on all vinyl, just so I learned how to find that cue point. And I was for like 3 months. I didn't get to do it publicly, but I was at his crib every weekend, just mixing instrumental records the whole time for like 3 to 6 months, just to know how to beat match. And then once I got that figured out, he was like, "You got it. You know what I'm saying? You'll figure out how to read music and read a crowd after that." So, been doing it ever since then, man.
Word, word. So, being a DJ in Queens, whether you're in Jamaica, Queens, whether you're in Hollis, whether you're in St.
Far
Yeah, I know
Rock,
the area,
shout out
man.
to Far Rock, shout out to
Yeah,
Far
yeah.
Rock.
Right. So my godmoms live in Queens, so
Okay, all
I
right.
definitely know the area. So once you stamped in Queens, man, what was that like for you as a DJ, and as far as you building up your confidence to know that you can go anywhere within the 5 barrels and rock a show?
Yeah, man, it's just knowing your crowd too, knowing your audience. Like certain records ain't gonna fly in certain boroughs, certain cities, or whatever. But you test it. That's what your testing phase is. That first hour, I always say, is the toughest hour of DJing because you're still trying to figure out your crowd and you battling them. But you always look for the one person in the room that's nodding their head, or you're looking for the one female that's always dancing, and you kind of vibe with them the whole night. You know what I'm saying? Because if they vibe and everybody else paying them attention, that's when you get on the mic and you call them out to let them know you appreciate them for what they're doing. And then after that, everybody's a follower. They want to be called out. They want to be shouted out. So then that's how you get the crowd into it. So, yeah, man, you just got to know your crowd, know where you at, know the venue you in, and you'll be all right. You play a couple of the popular joints, but you I always like to throw in some of the B side cuts and the album cuts too, just to keep that
Right.
underground feel to it, and
Hmm.
just kind of go from there, man.
Right. Okay, man. We have my man Lil Terry from Atlanta, Georgia, tapping in with us from Indie Crib TV, tapping in with us, man. So shout
Shout
out to
out
him
to
for
the A.
tapping in
Shout out
with
to the A.
us. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So for the two MCs on here, did you guys kind of sharpen your skills in freestyle battles, or are you guys what we call? Do you have penmanship? Or are you just this awesome writer? That like freestyle is okay with you, but if you put that thing on paper, it's just something magical. So what does it for you guys?
For me, I've been always been like a I dabble with both, but I'm better at the penmanship with writing. I'm cold with the writing, but I could go either way. Once the beat is right and the idea is right, to freestyle too as well. But I know I'm good with the penmanship with the pen though. So yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, man, I feel like they both are part of the culture. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm no stranger to neither one. But you know, like we all in this game, I would say, to make, like, you know, music that's gonna impact people. So the penmanship is where I would say we probably both hang our hats on. But no stranger to the freestyle until I feel like that's a part of the culture. You ever out at an event or somebody pull you on the spot, it's good to be sharp on that aspect too.
Hey man, you got my mind elevating. I got a whole new name for you, Rakim. I'm gonna start calling you spiritual one, bro. Like real talk. Like
Yeah, bro.
like real talk, bro. Like it's just like when you hear somebody talk about the culture, man, and you kind of hear them talk about what hip hop means to them. You know, like both of you MCs, man. It's like it's elevating, man. It's like eye opening. Like, oh, we still have some here. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And and,
Word
and,
up,
and
bro.
so I can appreciate that. So with you guys, having that conscious mindset and having a soulful vibe, that can piques one interest, but also, elevate their spirit. How does that fit in nowadays when it comes to hip hop?
With hip hop in general, you know, I don't want to generalize because hip hop that's such a big, you know, scope that we would try to cast the net over. But I know for us collectively, we everything we do has intent. So we knew when we put this project together and these tracks together, we knew number one, it has to have a message in it. Because we that's our comfort zone, right? We want to do something knowledgeable. We want to do something with a message. We want to do something different and abstract with the sounds and everything. I believe there's always a place for it in hip hop, even though as you can tell now, everybody's just kind of tired of, and it's just it's just fatigue of the drill, it's fatigue of the commercialism of hip hop and the prostitution of hip hop. So I think that acts like us, we're kind of like I told, what do we say, Linda? We're kind of like we're kind of like craft beer. Like
Yeah, vintage, unique.
very vintage. Yeah, we're made for a certain taste of people, and everybody seems to be drawn to it because it's different, right? Because it's very authentic, it's very organic. And that's what we pride, and that's what we hang our hat on. And you know, we just kind of we pay attention to what's going on out there in the market, but we say they ain't got what we got. You know what I'm saying? As far as how we put our music out. And so, like I said, there's room for everything. But I think honestly, just in general, people are tired of the cocaine talk. People are tired of the gun talk. People are tired of all of that. I think everybody's coming back to the message. Common and Pete Rock just dropped the project commercially, and everybody is like, this is the greatest thing that happened to hip hop this year. But I'm like, the underground's been doing that for years. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you've had these independent producers working with one artist on projects, month after month, week after week, and it's like now we're really starting to get a look and starting to get a shine. So I'm very happy on what's going on because commercialism is dying. It's cannibalizing itself right now. So that's leaving room for us.
Okay, fellas. What you guys think about?
Well, honestly, I think I agree with Quando. I mean, it's time for the music to change. I mean, trap had its course. It destroyed a lot of it, you know what I mean, with a lot of the trash music that have been spitting and all that stuff. And I think over a period of time, people have gotten fatigued to just hearing one tempo of beat and very little or no bars. So now, what we are trying to do is to bring back that form of articulating your bars, putting unique stuff together, being original, not being cheesy, not everything sounding redundant. Still going back into those days of finding those unique samples to make crazy beats, to come up with dope concepts. I think we're kind of like trying to do our part in pushing that narrative back to the forefront. Because personally, between me and you, bro, I'm tired of music right now when it comes to what is being played, bro. Oh, especially with the the streaming services are pushing us. What are the top listeners right now? So for me, I'm over it. So I create what I want to hear. That's the main focus for me. I create what I want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I would say for the most part too, like people we in the age of social media, so people tend to follow, trends and things of that nature. So you know what I'm saying? What's current, what's hot, you will see a lot of people gravitate into that. But like, with us, what I can tell you is we pride ourselves on, keeping it hip hop and pushing that music with a message.
Okay. So, with you pushing your music with a message, man, I'm gonna say, we have some people that's listening in the comment section, like my man Letary, like my man Johnny OC, and these guys are big on the restructuring and the rebranding the community. And so, through the art form of music and through the hip hop culture, how do you want your music to impact lives and help rebrand and restructure the community?
Oh man, I can tell you this much from the projects I've worked on so far, separately in this one with Len-Dor and Ra, we haven't killed anybody. We haven't used a woman. We haven't called a woman a bitch. We haven't done anything negative, and it still came out funky, and it still came out with a message behind it, right? So I think with that mindset of still pushing that forward, we don't have to we don't have to make that conscious effort to do that every time because it's in us already. You know what I'm saying? We just got to find the right people who want to hear the music, and then let them kind of spread the message for us as well, right? We call it finding your tribe. So I think we do a good job of keeping it balanced. Um, like I said, I'm married. I got 2 kids. I got a little daughter, so I'm very, very, very conscious of what I put out there, that energy wise. You know what I mean? Because I don't want them to say, well, daddy can say this and daddy can do that, and it's okay, right? I like it when they sing the records that I put out with my brothers here. Um, Even if I got to play the clean version for them, we always put everything out with a clean version too, just so we can rock with the babies in the car and stuff like that. So
Right,
just little things like
right.
that we're very conscious of to do. That even though we may be heavy-handed on some of the messages and we may have to say it a certain way, we do have that flip side where we may have a clean version of those records too, where we can still play the records and get the message out there.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope.
I would say,
So
man, oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
So
I was
I
gonna
just
say,
I just want to
yeah,
say this to you guys. Before you speak your piece, I want to say this to you. A lot of nonprofits would love to work with you guys, man, just because the mindset and the message. And when you're when you're talking about the hip hop culture and when you're talking about speaking and mentoring people through the channel of music and through the channel of positivity and just understanding, how this can transition lives, man. Have you guys ever thought about starting your own nonprofit? Just you three?
Us three. Nah, we haven't had those conversations yet, but it's definitely something we could think about. I don't know if you guys, if you want to hear some other joke records, man. On both of these separate projects, me and Rod did, and me and Len-Dor did. Len-Dor wrote this incredible record called Past Life that I think that you would love. PASSLIFE. And then Rod has this joint called Uplifter. It's a dope record about, the positive message to the Black Queen and stuff like that. Those are the records here. Like you said, we would love to talk to the nonprofits and create a theme song for them for their rallies or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. But that's definitely a good point and something interesting that the brothers would take back and throw it on the board and talk about.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, to kind of go off of what he was saying too, I feel like that's all just come with networking too. Knowing people that's in those situations. So if that opportunity, whenever that opportunity ever present itself, we'll be ready for that. But going back to what you were saying, I feel like as artists, the way that you you want that message to come out, you have to tell your story. So as an artist, you have to be vulnerable, and you have to be vulnerable enough to really speak about, things that you done went through in your life, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to have somebody that relate to that. So that's how you really, get to telling that message, by being truthful too. So you got to have things like morals and integrity, you know what I'm saying, to really, push that message that you were saying.
That's great. That's great, man. And you guys are MC and you're a DJ, and so there's something that's called the music business. And we already know it's 95% of business and 5% of music. And so what does publishing, royalties, mechanical royalties, and PROs mean to you guys? And with the youth looking up to you guys, how would you explain it to them? Or should I say, how would you teach them and break that down in layman terms?
You guys want to take that, or you want me to take that?
Well, from my limited knowledge, right? So royalty splits and mechanical royalties are like two different things. So the royalty splits basically is what you do between you and a producer or an executive
Of course.
producer, whatever in it. Your mechanical royalties is like your radio spins, your TV spins, your the who takes your music and uses it in some of it, one of their programs or the other. If I were to choose, to me, which one has the better effect will be the mechanical royalties, because those pay better, right? And on top of that too, it has a shelf life according to the project, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, like I have a friend of mine, he just did like a book narrative type of thing where he's reading books for kids, and they had like his songs were added to the actual soundtrack of the books and stuff like that. So that's how you make money right there. That's one of the ways you make money off of mechanical royalties. So I would try my best. Like what I'm learning now, as I've gotten a little more mature into the music game, is that the best way to get your music around is if you get it on movies, plays, theaters, cable, anywhere. That's where the money really is. The other one is just passive income. Streams and stuff is just passive income, nothing else.
Yeah. And I would say too, man,
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of making things as simple as possible and streamlined as possible. So like me and my brothers, we always had a conversation on the front end with everything. So I would to artists out there. Have those conversations before y'all even get into the project, because um, once the music is made, people kind of forget about that sometimes, and then you guys are so gung ho to do the release that you forget about the business side of it. And just keep it simple and keep it fair. Always do what's fair for everybody, and everything. Like, we have a system between us that if you touch the single, you touch the record, everybody's going to get a piece of it no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And if we try to split it as equally as possible between everybody no matter what. So even if, like, for instance, if Lynn was on a solo cut and Ra wasn't, we still gonna split that between all of us, because it's still part of the bigger picture that we put out. So, and you just keep your circle as small as possible. The more people that you get involved in your business, the more complicated it becomes. So we just try to keep it as simple as possible, as small as possible, where those conversations are easy to have, where you don't have to play a game of telephone with everybody in the room.
Of course. Ra, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I would just let them know simply about, you got to have the awareness on the business side, because you never want to be in a situation where you missing out. I'm pretty sure most artists want to collect what they can. So I would just let them know about that. So, that they could be effective on, collecting everything that's, owed to them.
Okay. So for you guys, now this is a controversial question, man, and I don't want to seem biased, but it seems like to me nowadays in the music business, if she's a female artist, the more she take off her clothes, the higher her sales are. So, with that being said, even though she's won a few Grammys and she's won Soul Train Music Awards and all type of different awards, but I still feel like nobody gives Rhapsody her flowers.
Yeah, Rhapsody. She's one of my favorites. Rock's one of my favorites. Rod Digger still can eat anybody alive on the pen game. Um, it's some dope underground female MCs too. Nuptial Nefertiti, she's dope. Um, yeah, man, you now you talking we talking about commercialism, sexualism, over sexualism versus the culture, right? So they did it with Kim and Foxy back in the '90s, and they kind of kept that trend
Mhm.
going throughout the years, and it just got worse and worse and worse, right? So it's definitely a weird space that in this industry in all its years that they still can't figure out a lane where a female MC doesn't have to be naked to make money and sell records. Like, that's just wild to me that we're here in 2024 and we're still doing the little Kim thing with a lot of these artists.
Right.
And now they're younger, right? These are like young girls coming out at 16, 17, 18, and they instantly doing that to them. So it's a tough watch, man. It's really a tough watch, and then it's a cringe thing for me, as like I said, being a little bit older and being a dad of a daughter. And
But what's interesting about this with you three fellas, I'm gonna tell you what's interesting to me. This is what I feel like. I feel like you guys can get that same female in the studio with y'all and challenge her to spit these bars and don't talk about her body parts. And this would be a whole different MC. A whole different female MC that people like, who is that? That ain't her. Oh, it is.
yeah,
It is.
yeah,
But and then you'd be like, y'all just ain't know how to get that out of her. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So I'm just saying, man, like sometimes you have to pull something out somebody that they didn't even know they had.
yeah, yeah. But you talking about just some dudes who in the studio compared to a
Yeah.
corporation conglomerate who's throwing money at them to do all of that, right?
Well, that's what
Well,
I'm about
well,
to tell you. I want to say now, like, you have to understand, women think different, right? Women think differently when it comes to hip hop. Like, women are all about, the allure, the attention, fantasy. That's why you have a lot of these females, a lot of strippers in the game doing that nonsense. Because also there are a lot of tricks and there are a lot of tricks as fans too as well. There are a lot of dudes who like the prostitute type of feel. So how do you get someone whose dopamine is literally connected to how they make money? And that's how a lot of female MCs are. That's how I
Yeah,
look
I
at it.
mean, yeah, I mean that's a way to look at it, man. And I would say you 95% of the time that's just the way it is. So, but at the
Hmm.
same time, man, I've seen some females, man, that I was like, why are you doing it?
Hmm.
Well,
I
I'm
felt
just
that way
I
about
was like,
I, I felt that way about Megan Thee Stallion because I remember years ago before she blew up. Her mom, who when her mom was alive, her mom was managing her, and I heard her on one of those interviews, and she was saying like, my mom oversees my career. She makes sure I stay away from the industry stuff. She just wants me to be a good MC because her mom was an MC too. So she was on track to still like graduate college and make music, and then she was gonna get a degree and start like opening up a nursing home, and like she had a plan. But then her mom passed away, and literally, I say within 6 months, that's when the whole Rock Nation came in and kind of took over her career. And then you see where she's at now, right? So it's kind of like
yeah,
the vultures out there. They that's what they do. They sit out there and they pray and they wait for a moment of weakness, and that's when they swoop in. So it's kind of like you gotta catch them you gotta catch them early, and you gotta like you said, you gotta have the rhapsodies. It just has to be balanced, right? We got to see more rhapsodies. We got to see more Cyrocs out there getting love, like you said, so females know that you don't have to be you know MC so and so who does drill rap and strips on stage like Len-Dor says to make money. We just need that visual more of the female MC who doesn't have to take her clothes off and still make dope music.
no doubt, no doubt. So we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll hear from Raw. And the next question will be, why do you think hip hop has made it for 51 years when they said in the first 5 that it wouldn't last? So we'll be right back with some important messages. Stay tuned.
Shout out to the men that just came home from jail and said no matter what the circumstances is, I'm never going back. Shout out to the men that said I'm tired of neglecting my children. I'm stepping up and being a man for my children, teaching them morals, honor, responsibility. Shout out to the men that say, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping on that couch. I'm tired of using my mother. I'm tired of using that girl. I'm going to step up and be a man for me. Shout out to the men that just graduated from college or going to college. Shout out to the men that graduated from trade school. Shout out to the men that say, yo, I'm just tired of being tired and I need to make a change. Shout out to the men that stayed there, that's raising their children. Shout out to the men that's getting married or want to stay married. Shout out to the men that's taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. Shout out to the men that's trying to figure it out. Shout out to the men because you are a beautiful soul. Shout out to the men that's just being a part of everybody's life to make a change, man. Stop the violence.
Man, shout out to the men, bro.
Shout out.
We don't get enough flowers, man. Man, when I see that brother speaking with passion, that make me hype, bro. For real,
Yeah,
man. Because
absolutely.
the black and brown man don't get enough flowers, man. So if you are a great man, keep being great. Don't never let nobody tear you down. Don't never let nobody tell you that you can't do this or that. Man, keep going. Because you are blessed by the best. So keep going, man. Shout out to the men. For sure. So, Rod, you have the floor, man.
Oh, so yeah, so we were speaking on the women for the most part. And yeah, man, like I would say they need to go back and listen to, like, you know what I'm saying, Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying, the way she presented her image and things of that nature. But like, man, it's a lot of things that come into factor with that. You know what I'm saying? You got the culture vultures that's in play, that's pushing music to be presented a certain way. And some people might not necessarily have, people with integrity or morals that surround them to let them know that they don't got to do that. And it might be a simple thing such as just like, them signing with a certain label and it's in their contract. So it's like, yo, what you gonna do? So a lot of things come into factor with that. But yes, we definitely do need to get back to we would love to see, you know, more of our women operating with integrity and with morals to where they not having to take their clothes off and be over
No
sexualized.
doubt. No, I can dig it. I can dig it. So, for the final question, of the hour, why do you fellas think hip hop has made it for 51 years when in the first 5 they said that it wouldn't be around for long?
Man, hip hop is a language, bro. Hip hop it's one of the most contagious music art forms you could ever hear, bro. I don't care what anyone says. It's one of those things that you just can't help but be a part of in many different ways. If you're not breakdancing, if you're not painting graffiti, writing rhymes, DJing, spoken word, it's such a contagious genre that no matter what they do to it, it's still going to be one of the most loved genres on earth. I don't care what anyone says. You could sing pop, you could sing. I mean, reggae is cool too, dancehall is cool too, but to me, hip hop is everything. There's too many disciplines in hip hop, too many to be a part of, and I think there's a small engine of people within the genre still believe in the purity of it. So that's why it's going to stick around for a long time to come.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
Yeah, for me, I would say, man, it's like he said, like the purity is the reason why I feel like, you know, it's sticking around. Because when you think about when it first came out, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the same as, you know, the music you get in nowadays that's being over sexualized or somebody talking about kill, you know, calling the women out their name and all that. So I feel like, you know, because the pureness was in hip hop and people remembered, you know, the skills of when it comes to hip hop too, like the science of it. So like MCing, breakdancing, DJing, bars, metaphors, double entendres, all those things.
Okay. Okay.
Word up.
That's dope.
Um,
Now, I need to hear from the DJ for real, for real.
yeah, nah, man. It's just like Lindo said earlier. It's the most influential. It draws the most money worldwide. I mean, it was in the Olympics to a certain extent. Well, breakdancing and Snoop, right? I mean, people don't remember it was a time in life where, in another dimension, where Snoop was one of the most feared people in the planet just because of his image, right? So now he's like brand ambassador for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Brand ambassador for himself and all of that. So it's everywhere. It's communication. It's the coolest thing to be a part of, right? That's where everybody goes to feel cool, even on a commercial level. Um, you know, a lot of the pop acts love to come over here and dip their toes in here to getting that certification that they cool, and then once they make their money, they leave, right? So I think it's going to
Right.
be here to stay. It's gonna have different phases like everything else, but I think the root and the art of the culture is going to always be there. Um, but it's it's my culture that I'm a part of. It's my culture that I'm proud of, and it's probably one of the few things in life that um, you just feel like it just feels right when you're a part of it. You know what I mean? That it
Right.
never betrays you. It never betrays you. It always gives to you, and it always puts into you. You know what I mean? So, a person like myself, I like to give back as much as I can and leave it in a better place than I found it or when it found me.
I just say, if you love hip hop, then we cousins.
Yeah.
You know
Let
what I
me
mean?
add on to that
So,
too, if you don't mind. Let me add on to that. I feel like, you know, the reason why, to answer your question even better, is because to me, hip hop is spiritual. It's a universal language. So, like, when you put those factors into something, you know, that can't die. You know what I'm saying? That's how we relate to one another. You feel me? So, that's the reason why I feel like, you know, hip hop is still going strong.
I can dig it. I can dig it. And I feel like hip hop has brought so many people together, man.
Hmm.
Whether you're artist, whether you're DJ, whether you're a videographer, you're a film producer, whether you're a promoter, whether you're a program director, just whoever you are, man. Hip hop give you that sense of urgency to make you feel good.
Man,
Any
I would even say, so I'm going to cut you off. I would say over 50% of the people that I'm really cool with is due to hip hop music. this is like friends and brothers and stuff like that. It's
Right.
based off of hip hop music.
Yeah. It's very intriguing and interesting conversation. Music is everything, man. Like it's people can say what they want to say, man. Music is love language. Whether it's a courtship, whether it's a brotherhood, whether it's a friendship, or is whether you're at a family cookout. Music is that language, and so it's always gonna be that way. So I will say this: I do have my own podcast, the Chatterbox with King Jacob, where I would like to give all you guys your own TV time. You know what I mean? Separately. You know what I mean? Because everybody have their own individual story. But I love you guys as a collective. I love the brotherhood. But before the collective came, there was a story with the grind, the struggle, the obstacles, and the challenges. And so I want to get into that backstory on the individual basis with each of you. So I will definitely be reaching out to each of you. But
No
Okay,
doubt.
appreciate that, brother. Appreciate it.
no doubt, no doubt. And with that being said, man, y'all can go ahead and give y'all shout outs, tell people where to find y'all at, and make some announcements on what you got coming up for the rest of this year and 2025.
No
All right,
doubt.
go ahead, Rod. Rod, you got a hot mic, so go ahead.
For sure. So, you know what I'm saying? We got the Requiem dropping November 4th. I definitely want people to be on the lookout for the golden age that's coming 2025. And as far as like keeping up with me, is Rock King on everything. So RAK7NG. And I don't care what you on, that's how you get me.
Hey man, so check us out. This is your boy Len-Dor. We got a Requiem dropping, of course, produced by DJ Kawon. I also have another album dropping, not now, but next year. It's called I Need My Flowers, produced by Pro Logic. So you can get me anywhere, Len_DOR13 on IG, Len-Dor on Facebook, Len-Dor on YouTube. Can't miss it. Just get it.
Yeah, this is your man, DJ Kawon. And like the brother said, Requiem drops on Monday, 11/4/2024. It will not be on the streaming platforms. We're going to have it on Rocking's Bandcamp page, Len-Dor's Bandcamp page, and on djkawonmusic.com. The visuals are all on Len-Dor's YouTube page, so go watch Ghetto Mike Myers. We got No Limits on there. We're in the middle of finishing up on the third single visual that we got. Like Ross said, I'm producing his project he's dropping next year called The Golden Age. I'm going to be dropping a beat tape here in December, like something a little light, some leftover joints that I had from the past year with an unreleased track I got from some dope MCs from Australia. That's going to be on there. And 2025, man, you're going to be hearing a lot of production from DJ Kawon. Me and my team, me and my brothers here, we got a lot of work for next year. And then we got some other projects in the works that we currently recording, talking about. So it's going to be a lot of boom bap coming through here real soon.
All right. So we have Miss Latoya Brand tapping in Atlanta, Georgia. Herbalist, fitness queen. She's cured diabetes. She's cured high blood pressure. She's cured a lot of people from a lot of different things, and it's all natural. And so, that's my people. So just follow her at Sea of the Things. Just go tap in Sea of the Things, and you can see all her products and everything that she has going on, man. And she always tap in with us, man. And she always got a word for the soul and the body. So appreciate her tapping in with us. So last but not least, I do want to give a shout out to MJ for making this possible, for giving me this awesome connection, man. MJ, I definitely appreciate you, and you already know how we rock. So she's pretty dope, and she always send me some dope people, man. Like when I say dope people, I said, man, they ain't charted Billboard yet. They can't be that dope and they ain't on Billboard. People just laugh. I was like, you know what, man? But some people are so soulful and so in love with their music, they don't even worry about the fame. They just do it because it's from their heart and from their soul. And they hoping that this music can help somebody and change the narrative of somebody's life. So for those who do it like that, I want to say you are a blessing and keep on doing it, man. So I'm King Jacob, Exquisite Conversations podcast. You know, with King Jacob and owner, founder, publicist Nicole Jordan. Peace and blessings. We love y'all. And just remember one thing, man, it's lessons in your blessings. So therefore you are blessed by the best. Peace. We out of here.
Peace out.